To me, Mohammed Kudus is basically what United fans thought Fred was going to be when he signed back in 2018. However, he's so much more than just that and probably one of the most intriguing players right now in Europe. He's played in a variety of different positions, from a central midfielder as a number 8 under Erik ten Hag at Ajax, to being used more as a central striker in a false 9 role this season, whilst also being used on the right of a front 3 as well. And this is because Kudus has such a varied skill set that he seems to fit in so many different roles. But his best attribute in my opinion is definitely his powerful dribbling through the centre of the pitch, and definitely his press resistance when he receives a ball with his back to goal under pressure, as despite sometimes having an awkward first touch, alongside an unorthodox dribbling style, his physicality and sheer power allows him to keep control of the ball, fending off defenders as he's able to swivel out of pressure and drive the attack forward. And this is something that Frankie de Jong does very well, receiving the ball with his back to goal, spinning quickly and then driving forward up the pitch, which is definitely a skill set that United need in central midfield, as with Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Fred and even Jadon Sancho as well, they don't really have that ball carrier who is capable of receiving the ball under pressure and driving the ball up the pitch. And this can be seen as in the Eredivisie this season he's completed 4 dribbles per 90, which is the most out of any player in the league. And it is through his ball carrying and dribbling where he's most effective at progressing the play, as I wouldn't really call him a playmaker in the sense that he's not the type of player who's going to be able to thread incisive passes into players between the lines from deeper positions, or find those killer through balls that we see the likes of Martin Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes play from higher up the pitch. Even when it comes to his long range passing, whilst he does have the ability to switch play with a long pass, he generally doesn't seem to be doing it with a driven pass. Instead he seems to loop the ball up in the air, which whilst it can reach its destination, often slows up the attack a bit. And so if he was put into United's central midfield, he's not going to be able to replace the type of creativity that Bruno Fernandes provides. Instead, inserting Kudus into United's central midfield would instead bring a whole new level of progression via his carrying up the pitch, as with the likes of Casemiro, Fred and Bruno Fernandes, United don't really have this player, and so you could see why Ten Hag would identify Kudus as a player to come in and play as a free 8 ahead of Casemiro. But the reason why Kudus has been used further up the pitch as a false 9 or as an attacking right winger is because of his shooting ability around the box. This season for Ajax in the Eredivisie, he scored 11 non-penalty goals in 24 games, whilst also scoring an impressive 4 goals in 6 Champions League games, leading to him scoring a total of 18 goals in 35 games in all competitions. And this goal scoring ability is heavily led by his shooting around the box, as when he's able to get the ball out of his feet onto his left foot, he's able to generate a huge amount of power to drive the ball past the keeper. And so if Ten Hag was to use him in a deeper central midfield role, he would have to give him the freedom to push forward in the attack and become almost a second striker at points, looking to break into the box, receive the ball and release a shot, as along with his dribbling and ball carrying, his shooting and goal scoring is definitely the best part of his game. But Kudus is also a player that can contribute significantly out of possession as well, having the athleticism and physicality, alongside the work rate and tackling ability, to be a dynamic force for Ten Hag in central midfield, capable of pushing up the pitch and injecting energy into the press, whilst also being capable of doing his due diligence when he's running back towards his own goal, winning the ball back via tussles in the middle of the park or through sliding challenges where he's making the recovery. Now, I would have concerns over his positioning in central midfield, as like most natural attackers, he's not the most positionally aware, and so this will mean that Ten Hag will have to either develop this part of Kudus' game, or play him alongside 2 more defensively sound players like Casemiro and Fred. Or alternatively, we could see Ten Hag switch up Kudus' position, depending on the opposition, as if the opposition were to have a player like, say, Odegaard, James Maddison or Kevin De Bruyne for example, who are going to look to position themselves in behind United's midfield, having Kudus in a deeper role alongside Casemiro could be a bit of a liability. But I do think Kudus has the highest ceiling when playing in a central midfield role, as when he's playing on the right wing, I don't necessarily think he has the long range dribbling ability to carry the ball forward and drive the attack down the flank, and he is very one-footed, similar to Antony as well, which can make his play quite predictable if he's positioned on the right. I do like him more playing as a false 9, dropping off from the forward line, which could definitely work with Marcus Rashford from the left. However, I do think this would be more of a situational position for Kudus at United, as I do think they need more of a natural number 9 in the form of maybe Osimhen, Kane, Ramos or even Ivan Toney. As well as Kudus does have fantastic shooting ability around the box, I don't think he quite yet has the link-up play when dropping off from the forward line that United would need, nor does he have the instinctual poacher-like movement inside of the box that I think United need. And so if he was to be signed by Ten Hag, I definitely think he would be used in a central midfield role, in what I like to refer to as a free 8, and I will be doing a whole separate video tactically analysing that role and how Kudus would fit into it for Manchester United. And so if that video is out, it will be linked in the description. But overall, given that Kudus has just 2 years left on his Ajax contract, likely costing around £40 million and is still only 22-23 in August, I do think that whilst he wouldn't be a priority signing for Ten Hag this summer, he would still be an excellent player to have in the squad, offering United the ball carrying ability, power and physicality, alongside the goal scoring ability in the final third that is hard to find all in one player. So let me know what you think of Kudus in the comment section below. Check the description for the other video as well, and for some other videos I think you may enjoy. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more content as well.